How about a little walk in the woods? It is spring in Indiana, and the morels are started to come up. I have found one last week. I don't know if other people are as enamored with them as I am, but as soon as season begins, I tend to come out every day and give it a shot. I'm not going to spend a lot of time out here, but you can kind of get the idea of what spring in Indiana looks like. I usually come in the early morning and the birds are just screaming and carrying on, and the shadows, for me, make it easier to spot the mushrooms. The sun and dappled shade kind of is difficult to focus for me. I don't know if that's for everybody, but I like a rainy day. I can really find them for two reasons, probably. They have swollen up overnight and it's not sunny. It's dappled. So I'll give it a look-see and come back to you if I find any. So I don't usually do my own face, and I gotta watch where I'm walking because of the woods. I need to become a much better YouTuber when it comes to entertaining people versus just, you know, showing how to do things. I'm not sure I'm capable, but I've seen some of the people that I watch grow so consistently and fast with all their music and things they can do that it's time to probably attempt to do it myself. So while I'm walking, I'm looking for mushrooms. I'm not to where I find my best stash, but you know, I'm not telling you where I am anyway. So if I see any, I'll scream loudly, although you can't hear me unless the camera's on. Well, I'm out again trying to see if I can find any early ones. It's still a week early than what I'm used to. I don't usually hunt them this hard, but it appears there's somebody else finding my woods. So I just came across this one. They're nice little grays, and here's another one. Isn't that pretty? Oh, they're so tasty. Oh, I see another one. So it's going to be that kind of morning, I hope. It's not going to be very good video, but you can at least see what I'm doing or what I'm searching for. With any luck, I'll find a bunch. I usually expect more wet, but there was a heavy dew last night. So I'll move along, and when I find more, I'll holler at you. Oops, there's one. See it? Hiding little boogers. I keep thinking I should go check somewhere else and come back here. But sorry about the rustling of the bag. Wish I could spot them on the camera for you from a distance, but it's weird how you just have to kind of acclimate your eyes, see one, and all of a sudden they start appearing before you. So you spend a lot of time sniffling because it's 32 degrees out. Walking around looking at the ground, hoping one waves at you. Unfortunately, they're so small and hidden amongst leaves, it's really not a good video production, but they sure taste good. There are all kinds of old wives' tales about mushrooms and growing next to dead trees, and I think it's elm trees. People always claim that they find mushrooms under dead elms, but I'm not usually looking for dead elms. I'm looking for mushrooms, so I don't seem to have any trouble finding them. I don't usually hunt this little area, but since it's a little earlier than I hunt, maybe there's some spring babies here. Walnuts will drive you crazy because they look like a mushroom at a glance. These little tiny grays have great concentrated flavor. People claim they'll grow bigger, but I don't usually wait. If I see it, I pick it. Otherwise, it's going to dry out, and they will rehydrate if you put them in some water. But I'm not a great one for even soaking them in water, because to me they get waterlogged and too juicy. I like a nice chew, good crispy flour and a butter, fried in butter. It's hard to talk and look at the same time, kind of. These areas I'm hunting here are usually later. This is where I find a lot of the yellows. So it starts with black and grays in my experience. Then the grays start to get bigger, and then the yellows pop up, and then the yellows get huge. You can see two grays here that have been kind of weathered, bitten the top off, but I'll still take them. The good news is that keeps you motivated when you find one to look for more. And I'm the only person that's supposed to hunt this woods, but there are trespassers, of course. So I don't try not to leave that, because that just signals to somebody else. That just signals to somebody else that I found some mushrooms, so I cover them. So that gives me more impetus to look here a little longer. I was about to head out to another location here in the same woods. Can you spot it? This is another area I don't hunt very much because I don't find them later in the season, so it's kind of nice to find new areas that I haven't, I don't want to say neglected, but my bag's getting crazy. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to leave some. I'm not one of those people that has to find them all. A nice batch to eat is wonderful. Or if I'm going to make, say, something for preservation for winter, I make a really good rabbit, or if you don't have rabbit, chicken thighs preferably, because they're meatier and juicier, and morel sausage that you poach and then lightly brown. And in January, even December, February, it'll knock your socks off. So that's what you call a twofer. If you sit here and look carefully, there may be more. Yeah, like here. Hiding in the leaves. Oh, here's a baby one that nobody got in time. It's nice and dry out today. Usually I'd be soaking wet, kneeling down on the ground like this. But that's when I feel the mushrooms are at their best because of the dampness. This is how sneaky they can be. You got to train your eye. Look in there. And usually while you're finding one, you're stopped. You look over, around, and gosh darn, looky there. One. I'm getting close to going home. I have plenty. I want to leave some to reseed. I don't know if that's necessary, but works in my mind. It's going to be a short video because I don't want to just bore you to death walking in circles. But it'll get you an idea of what I've been up to. Whoops. As I say that, I look over here. What could that be? So maybe I will stick around. No, it's a disease. But it's so quiet, so nice. And then, sorry about the bouncies. And you keep finding them. And as I said, you just look over. There's another one. So you find a little patch. These are nice, pretty, new gray ones. Let's see what else I can find while I sit here. It's funny how you have to focus on the ground and not the leaf canopy or the leaf tops. Where's my trusty stick? Wow, I threw it down way over here. I park it outside the woods. I've been using the same stick for years. I just leaned it on a tree. Well, this is the result of my hunt. Not too bad for an early spring day. These are my favorites. I think I said already. They're nice and chewy, and you can crisp them up with some flour, fry them in butter, and then salt them, and they are heaven on earth, or at least heaven in my kitchen. So I just trim them, cut them in half. See how they're kind of, I don't know if you can hear it, but they're kind of rubbery. Sometimes there's slugs inside of them, spiders. So I give it a little quick bath. Somehow they get inside of there where you'd think they couldn't get past the dirt and the stem, but they do. I probably should turn on some light. That would help us, wouldn't it? A little bit anyway. It's a gray, it's a gray day. It's like I said before, it's my favorite day to cook or hunt mushrooms. Every day is a good day to cook them. This is more than I could possibly eat in 2 meals. They're kind of dirty. The soil in there, I don't know if you noticed, is coal black. There's an ant. Wonder if there's an uncle. Jeez. Dad jokes. But it's a really heavy, black, sandy humus. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Oops, see? Whole life of ants right inside of there. Now I just spread them all over the counter. So I may have to take a second to eviscerate so many little lives. I'm sorry. For those of you that are opposed to it, look away. That is why you clean mushrooms instead of just frying them. Sadly, these are only available a couple of weeks a year here, although they start far south and migrate. Oop, another thing of ants. I almost threw it in there. There's a slug. Nope, that's a roly-poly, we call them. They curl up into a round little ball if you scare them, usually. Nice one. This is about the size they get when they're starting to end. Then the yellow ones about this size come out. And then the massive yellow ones come out. They're sometimes, geez, a foot tall. That's an exaggeration, maybe, but I've seen many a 10 inch anyway. So if you can't find mushrooms, wait till the yellows come up and they wave you down. Can't miss them. Oops. See? Roly-poly. I almost just threw that in there. Okay. Oop, back on the board, kids. Something in there. All right, I'm going to run this out to the garden and spread some spores. Another thing people do here is they salt these to kill any bugs, but I want to salt mine after. So I'm going to do this, put them in a colander, rinse them, and put them on a paper towel. You see how dirty the water is. There you go, a nice little batch of morel mushrooms, fresh from the woods. For me, I'm going to use the same paper towel I used on the bacon. Put those aside. Spread them out, let them drain a little. Fluff my eggs. With mushrooms, something that's very important, as with all food, seasoning. I'm going to put some salt on that. Some nice kosher salt. Nice big chunks so you get a burst of flavor. I want my scrambled eggs a little soft, so they'll continue cooking. More salt on the eggs. Some pepper. I don't even know if you can see this. It's probably so far away from the camera, but the stove's hot and the plate will break. Grab my toast. Oh, there you go. Look at my dirty dishes. Now that's my kind of breakfast. What do you think? Could you eat that?